Hi, welcome to Network She and the Mothership. My name is Michelle Smith from Angelic Healing. I specialise in teaching you how to think and heal yourself happy. And today I have the lovely Sue with me. Hi Sue, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Looking forward to
Oh, loving the setting there, beautiful calm colours. You're in your clinic.
I am. I thought I might as well come in my clinic and do the interview.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's lovely to see you today, Sue. I'm so excited to hear about your business and your skanky feet that you're always talking about. Not necessarily your skanky feet. Better rephrase that, offending you before we start. Can't see mine. I've got big fluffy socks on.
My slippers on.
Oh, do you want to introduce yourself, sweetheart? Let everybody know who Sue is and what makes Sue happy.
I'm Sue Quinton, and I have Sue Quinton Foot Clinic in Deganwy Village. Been here for 2.5 years, and things that make me happy are time with my family. I have 3 sons, and any I can get with them, who have all mainly left home except for one of them, and I love time with them. I love my time with my friends. Really, really lucky to have the best friends. I love a bit of adventure. At the moment, I'm sea dipping across the road in Deganwy off the pontoon, and it's freezing cold, but oh my gosh, that hit it gives me is incredible. Really good for mental health well-being. And things that make me happy, and obviously I'm a Christian and I have faith, and that is something that's really, really valuable and important to me. And just work. I am really, really lucky to sounds probably a bit cliche, but I am really lucky to have a job that doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Because I have so many lovely patients, and the conversations are amazing, and just love what I do, making people comfortable, pain-free, win-win.
Win-win indeed. Fantastic. Oh, it's lovely watching your energy sparkle, talking about what makes you happy there. So I have to ask, I have to go back and ask you about the sea dipping. What on earth? That must be, wow, I suppose it's really exhilarating, as you say, as you hit that water, that shock. So do you wear a wetsuit? I have to ask.
No,
No.
cheating. Swimming costume.
Oh, wow.
All the way in, swimming costume. Yeah, it started in the summer, and my eldest son came home from London because it was too much. It was closed down, and he wanted to come home. He's got an online business, so he can work from anywhere, and his mental health was suffering as a result. So he came home that day, and he said, "Mum, I'm going to go jump off the pontoon a bit later when the tide is high." And I'm like, I've been wanting to do that for a long time, because I've studied this Wim Hof method, which is great for mental health, all about breathing and cold water and the benefits. I've been studying that for years. So I've always wanted to do it. And so I said, right, I'm coming with you. So I did.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, then we videoed it, and I put a link up for the David's hospice up, because I was supposed to be going to China in the May, well, got cancelled, to raise money for the hospice. And I was mindful that they weren't getting this money. I mean, they are now with the goats, wow. And but I wanted to do something. So when I put the video up and the link, people started donating. And
Oh.
within less than 3 weeks, I think I made £1.5 grand.
Fantastic.
Just by
Wow.
videoing my dips. And then I got well known on the beach, and people would kind of come along, obviously social distance, but they saw me. They wanted to meet their own challenges and asked me, can I come with you? And it became a whole other thing for people in their own journey. It was, I love that hit of cold water. I can't describe it.
Oh, you're really brave. That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad I asked about that then, because that's been amazing, from something that your son just mentioned, something you've been interested in, to it actually turning out to being a community interest and raising funds as well. Amazing. Yeah. Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, thank you for that. I'd love to know a little bit about your background, Sue, because I know on the Mothership you've done a lovely video when we were doing the well-being, the featured there on the well-being. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about your background?
So for nearly 30 years, I was a counsellor stroke psychotherapist. I had nearly 20 years in private practice in this room, actually. And then it was great because I live above here in
Okay.
Village. And so my boys would be at school, they'd come home, go upstairs, sort themselves out, raid the kitchen, put a bomb under it. But anyway, I didn't ever have to worry about childcare, which was an absolute godsend. But anyway, so I did 20 years private practice, and then I did a degree at the age of 40, and I got offered a job on the child protection team for Conwy County Council. Worked for them for nearly 10 years. That finished me off, only in the sense when you're in that job, you hit a brick wall, you get what we call compassion fatigue, and I was just wrung out because you put a lot of yourself into a job like that. It's a high emotional level of working with people. So yeah, that's what I used to do, and I loved it most of the years, and then I just got really, really tired.
Well, I'm not surprised. Given yourself for so many years, you don't look old enough to have been in practice for that long.
Thank you.
So you've run a private practice from where you are now with your clinic for your new business. So you've lived in that house for quite some time then. You've really got your roots in that community. That's lovely. Yeah, fabulous.
More so now because I'm working from here. I've lived here for years and not really known anyone because I used to go to work for before 8 o'clock, come home about 6. So I never really met anyone. But since I've been here working, oh my goodness, it's a real community. So this has been a really great gift in terms of where I live.
A blessing, absolutely. Well, that brings us lovely into what inspired you then from when you come out of the job that you were in, burnt out, to come and do what you're doing now, because it's quite different to go from working with people mentally and emotionally to feet.
Yeah, I call it from head to toe.
Yeah.
Well, 6 years ago, I went into work after a hip replacement, recovered really well, and really looking forward to getting back into it. Mindful that before I went for my hip replacement, I was feeling a lot of exhaustion. And when I look back now, anyway, I went back to work, really excited to get back and everything. And all I can describe is this month of fog. My close colleagues who are therapists noticed it. And I hit a brick wall one day with something my awful manager said to me one day. It was horrendous. Anyway, I hit a brick wall and I ended up walking out and went and saw my girlfriend, and I said to her, I can't describe it. All I want to do is sit and rock. I'm really full of fog. I want to sit and rock. I don't know what's wrong with me. She said, Sue, I've never seen you like this. You need to call the doctor. And thankfully, I rang the doctor. They said, funny enough, we've just had a cancellation. Can you come in? And anyway, so thankfully, I had this amazing doctor, told her how I felt, signed me off for a month, which really pissed off this manager. But anyway, oh, yes. Anyway, and I said, oh, do I need antidepressants? Do I need anything? She's like, no, you go home, you sit and rock.
Brilliant. Wow. You did have a good doctor.
Because if you need to sleep. She said, do what you need to do, listen to your body, which is true. And I was doing really well, but work, this manager made it very difficult for me, hence me being off for 5 months. But in that time, and I slept like I've never slept. I was awake about 4 hours a day. It was my mind, it was pure exhaustion of being strong too long, raising 3 boys, running a business, go to uni, whatever. I was just like on my own for so long. Anyway, and so I just went with it and gave myself permission to go with it and stuff. And in that time, my mum was still alive, and she said, Sue, you need to get out of there. You really, really do. And I knew it was the beginning of the end. And I was starting to think, what will I do? Where do you go? I've got a mortgage to pay. but then her lung cancer got diagnosed, and so I went into daughter mode. I went part-time, moved her from Scotland to here, and she kept saying, Sue, you've got to get out of there. And I'm like, yeah, I know, Mum, but right now I need to think about you. And so I did, and saw her through to the end. And I'll hold on to that forever. That breakdown, they even criticised me at work. I'd drive to Scotland to be alongside her, just to live, because she's in a wheelchair on her own. And she was my therapy. She was my like recovery, and I was hers. It was like, I'll never forget that time, and I'm thankful for that. Not realising I wouldn't have long. Yeah, you know. And we became so close. And so when she died, and I was, you know, a few months later, I went to see my stepmom in Norwich, and I said to her, I need to change my life. It's all, I need a new career. I've got to get away, but I don't know what to do. And she said, Sue, I've been telling you for years, you'd love feet. You should do what I do. And she's been doing it over 30 years. And the light bulb she had, but I had 3 boys, good paid job, quite liked it most of the time. And I'm like, that excites me. Wow. Came home, signed up with the Institute of Chiropody and Podiatry. It was a whole new world. How interesting are ganky feet and the lower limb. Loved it, honestly. I absolutely loved it. Did 5 hours of exams, which is my challenge. That is, I passed. Wow. I passed.
Of course you passed. You're passionate about it. I think
interesting.
Yeah, it makes a difference when you're engaged and you're interested, isn't it? And especially if you've not done study for some time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I thought with my degree, I thought that's the last time now. I don't have to worry. Yeah, that's hilarious.
But look at you now. So that leads us really nicely into introducing us to your business, the name of your business. How long have you been up and running? Tell us all about it. Tell us your story.
Well, when I qualified, I was like, what do I do? And I called myself Deganwy Foot Clinic. And then I thought, well, and it was that for a few months. And then it didn't sit well with me, because I thought, well, what if I ever have to move for any reason? And so I called myself Sue Quinton Foot Clinic, because you can take that anywhere.
Yeah.
Not that I've got any plans, but who knows, you know. And so that was, I started opened 2.5 years ago, and I'm amongst the shops in Deganwy Village, directly opposite the train station, bus stops there, brilliant car parking across the road, hairdressers there, tea station cafe there, dentist there, like loads of amazing shops. I mean, the venue is spot on.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course I live upstairs, which is wonderful. So I was like, I have to have a clinic. I do a few home visits for people that can't get out of the house, but it's a nice controlled environment. I've got this chair that goes up and down, which is great for my back and everything like that. And so I just put myself out there. I use Facebook, Instagram, the Dragon, the newspaper, and word of mouth. And I've just kind of sort of steadily gone up. So
fantastic. Brilliant.
Fantastic. Absolutely loved it. It's been a challenge, and I'm like, you know, but it's been really good. I spent the first year taking my time, though, with getting my skill, my knowledge, and my speed up. I just gave myself that time, and I'm glad I did, because I think rather than rush into it, it's like driving a car. You learn how to pass the test, but you don't learn how to drive until you're doing it. So yeah, that I gave myself breathing space to really learn the job. So yeah,
setting your foundation to build on, really.
Yeah.
It can be very daunting, can't it, making that decision, and you know, you're all excited, you've got your idea, you've got your quals, and you're ready to go, and then suddenly you realize you're on your own. You know, where you've been used to having departments to ring up for support, it's all down to you. So all those transferable skills, though, they do come into play, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's a key for me, I think. Where I'm really lucky is that in this clinic, whatever's said in this clinic stays in this clinic.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I mean, we have a laugh. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely hilarious sometimes. But some people will sit and cry because somebody lost a friend in COVID, and she just sat here and cried. And I was able to hold that and not dismiss it. Some
Yeah.
people, yeah, you'll be fine. Oh, that's awful, but you'll be fine. And go and do this. And I was able to kind of just be alongside her. And I can manage difficult conversations. I think in a job like this, it's really valuable. And some people, I get a lot as well. People say, "Do you know what? I'm really glad I came, even just for this conversation."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's always that, Michelle. There's always that inner therapist that stays with you. I don't have to think too much intervention, and that releases me, because I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done. But this is a lovely, I'm able to say what I think, make them think about things a bit, and they bounce out the room. They feel better, and that's great.
It's
That's
lovely. It's really nice hearing you talk about that. You're holding space. It's a very private thing, isn't it? It's quite
very,
intimate. You know, most people shy away from getting their feet out anyway at the best of times, and the whole focus is on the foot. I think I'd have to go and have a treatment before I come and see you. I'm not ashamed of my feet.
and that to me, that was the first huge moment for me, which I'd never really considered. When I started practicing on friends, obviously, and friends of friends. Like, I'll be going, please let me do your feet. But what really shocked me, which I suppose I hadn't really considered, was, and when I saw people, is that deep sense of shame and embarrassment. And that hurts me. It really, really hurts me deeply. And I'm like, gosh, they're really feeling ashamed and embarrassed. And for me, that something kicked in for me where I'm like, and my statement to them immediately was, and this was automatic, I don't know where it came from, don't you worry, the gankier the better. I love a challenge. That was automatic. And then I could see them and relax them immediately.
Yeah.
So hence that being my strapline, the gankier the better. I love the challenge, because it really relaxes people, because I'm not remotely squeamish. And I love that I can make a difference, not only medically, and what I realize I've learned as well from an amazing beautician lady who said, you guys miss a trick. You make feet feel good with the medical side and the treatment, but you don't make them look good. You just quick file, blah, blah, blah. Now, that was a light bulb moment for me. And it's true, people value having their feet look nice. People go for Botox and we value our hair, but actually people really do value older men and older women, whatever, value the way they look at their feet. So when I'm trimming nails and treating fungal nails and all of this, that, the other, I know, some people are like, look, I love it. Fungal nails, my favorite treatment. But when I'm looking at that foot, I am thinking, how can I make it look the nicest? And honestly, people are like, wow, I haven't seen them look so good.
Yeah.
And that, for me, just makes my heart sing. And so, yeah, people really do care about the way their feet look. And we're not taught about at college. You just taught make them comfortable and pain-free, and that is all you're taught. But I've been really lucky. I've invested in courses on the aesthetic side, so I can do toenail reconstruction. If you've got half a nail there and it doesn't look very good, I can put a nice toenail reconstruction on there and make it look. I have got nail paints. I can do that as well, because it's no cross contamination. You go to beauticians, and no disrespect, but they don't have the autoclave, and most people with fungal infections, or particularly women, have got them from the salons, because that brush that's on your toenail or that file has been on hundreds of other people.
Oh gosh, you just don't think about things like that, do you? Oh gosh.
Oh, honestly. So I mean, yeah. So I love that part, that I can make them look really good.
That is so important. You're absolutely right. Because as you were talking there, I was just flashing back to when in the days when you were allowed to go on holiday, it was lovely to have your toenails painted. And it's so nice to be sitting there and enjoying being in the outside and catching a glimpse of your feet when they're in pretty painted, good, nice flip-flops as well. But I feel the same in nice shoes. I've often said to people, just because you're indoors working from home, you put some lippy on, have you put some nail varnish on, but sit there in a pair of fabulous shoes, because every time you see and glance, it actually picks you up. It's like a distraction. So
nail varnish.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. But you've definitely touched on something there, because people wouldn't expect you to come away from a medical appointment and expect to have good looking feet from it as well. So
and I've realized during this the Rona season right now, I've got a few older ladies that are on their own, no internet, hardly anybody goes to see them, and I see what that's doing to them. And the power of nail varnish, I've put a few in my bag, and when I go, and I make extra time for them, because I think as a business I have a social responsibility toward them, to make them feel a bit better. So I've been saying, right, let's put some nail varnish on you, free. No, just like I brought you a present, I brought you, let's do this. And I kid you not, just the lifting up of how they're feeling when I walk away, it's like they'll look at that nail varnish and have that feeling. I know that feeling. It's like, it is really nice to be able to do something like that.
yeah.
So discovered the power of nail varnish.
Bless you. But so it's clearly more than a business for you.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. I spend hours in here because I'm working so much, and it's absolutely really manically busy at the moment, so I'm really pleased with that. But it's a nice space, and I'm realizing 2.5 years later, I'm starting to attract my people, my avatar. I need to write that down really from my 5 to Strive group. But I know that everybody that I'm letting in at the moment, I'm really excited to see them. It's you wonder how they are. And during the coronavirus, that's when I started working out who are my people, and that I really want to attract. And it's people that I sat there and think, I wonder how they are. Oh, that nail's going to start hurting. I hope they come as soon as I'm open, or I wonder what's happening there, or this person. And yeah, you really start, because you do build up quite strong friendships and
You do, yeah.
with your customers, with your patients, that is what happens. They bring their photos to show me, and they're trying to tell me that next chapter of whatever is going on.
It goes a long way though. If somebody that you've been to see for an appointment, you can be completely relaxed and comfortable to be, you're working on my foot, you're in their space, you're in that energy field. It's so intimate, it's really private. So, it's a big thing, isn't it? What you're doing, they're allowing you into that space, you're holding the space, making it feel safe, and making them feel fantastic when they leave.
Yes.
But having that lovely personality that you've got, and that warm nature that is caring, your bedside manner goes a long way in your customer service. Is that'll be word of mouth, won't it? On its own, that's precious. Yeah.
And also, like, I realize again, the social responsibility of a business is that there's a lot of people walking in, particularly the older ones, or anybody, like, especially on their own, I'm paying attention to, that they haven't been touched. Well, I'm in my PPE, I've got my gloves on, their massage, you get a foot massage, a foot file and a foot massage at the end. That's regardless, and I'm just making sure I give them a longer foot massage, because they haven't been touched. They love it, absolutely love it. And I just want them to feel like someone cares, because when you go through difficult times, just knowing that somebody really cares about you can carry you through quite a lot. And the massage for me gives them that message.
Yeah, that contact that they've been missing.
Yeah. So
Something about that kind of contact, that massage, that in that caring way, soothing,
Soothing,
calms the breathing. and
Yes.
just relaxes the whole body. So, you know, they've come for a pamper. Wow, yeah, going away with a pamper.
I'm realizing as I sort of develop my business and think, well, who is Sue Quinton in her foot clinic? What is it? What's about me compared to all the other footies that are around here? And I'm realizing as much as the medical side is really key, that is, you know, top notch, there's that pamper element. I want to keep that in there, the in this environment is like a real nice pamper element of that nice foot file, that massage, and just, yeah, that's how I've become really. People are really shocked at, like, oh, this is very relaxing. Oh, this is very therapeutic. They hadn't expected it.
No, and that's the word that was just popping through my mind, the expectation. What the message is really clear from the conversation, but I wouldn't have realized prior. You don't have to have incredibly skanky feet to come along for a session.
No, I do sports pedicures, medical pedicures. So, like, you know, I do warm wax treatments and things like that, and exfoliation and things like. I offer that extra element. The difference is everything is completely sterilized to like the hospital dentist level of it, and so, yeah, you don't have to have it. It's just like a really nice, safe, relaxing experience.
Fabulous. So timescale wise, you know, because obviously you're in no rush, but you still got a diary to run. So
Yeah.
what is it? Talk me through a typical day, because you must have different types of appointments, and how long that might take. Who might you see?
Normally my first appointment is usually 45 minutes. It's now 1 hour because I have to take a medical history, do a complete assessment of both the feet, whether it's what you've got a problem with one foot. I still have to look at the other foot as well. And then I do manage to do some treatment, or maybe sometimes all of the treatment, depends on what it is. And then after that, the appointment's usually half an hour. I have a reception room that I can't use because it's not very big. So so that's all changed at the moment. So it's 1 hour for your first appointment, 3/4 of an hour for there on after, because I need to wipe down the clinic afterwards. And so the typical day starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so, yeah, I mean, I treat corns, callus, ingrowing toenails conservatively. I don't do operations. I assist a lady, Rita, who does operations, you know, partial nail avulsion. They're the operations basically to remove the toenails with the anesthetics and everything. So I usually assist her. And she's a great support. And so what else do? I do toenail reconstruction. I take hard skin off the heels where they're cracked. Fungal nail. I do a treatment called the lacuna method. That people sort of say, well, I've been painting the nails or this stuff and it's not been working and it's getting worse. And I've got a lacuna method where I have to I'm able to create micro holes in the nail and offer, you know, certain treatment, and that has a huge success rate. And I don't know anyone else around here that does it. So that is my baby, mainly because it's that psychological effect. I can tell tell from the moment they walk in whether it's fungal nail, because the shame, you can feel the shame and embarrassment straight away. And they're like, oh, there's something going on with my toenail. That's how they start. And so when they come in, it's like, all right, okay, it's fungal nail. And when I tell them how we treat it, they just get excited, and then they lose the sense of embarrassment. Every time they come, they're like, yeah, rip their socks off, start chatting to me, and that's fantastic. So then I do toenail cutting. Now, people say, well, it's just cutting toenails, but it isn't, because toenails tell a huge story. If you've had chemo, if you've been ill, if you've had trauma, your toenails tell a massive story, and they have to be cut in a certain way. So when people go, well, you know, you charge too much, it's, you know, it's your toenails and everything like that. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but that I'm medically trained, and it's a lot more than that, and therefore, you know, that is fair. And if they don't like it, it's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Not
they
for you.
don't understand. Oh, my last chiropodist charged me a tenner. Okay, go see them.
I hope you got everything you needed. It clearly didn't work you back again.
Yeah. So the fungal nail treatment is my favorite, because I kid you not, that feeling when it's gone and they can wear their sandals and they get their put their flip-flops on and feel amazing. It's incredible. The psychological effects are enormous on it, and that it just makes my heart sing too.
Yeah,
So
you can see. That's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's seeing the transformation, isn't it? The before and after. There's something really satisfying about that, and watching that big smile and somebody being so grateful for your support and your help. That makes it.
They are. And I do feel really appreciated by my patients, and I value that. And you know, and I mean, I'm getting older now. I haven't got time for being disrespected, and if there's plenty of people they can go to out there, but you know, I want a nice environment. I nurture that environment. I nurture my patients, and it comes back to me, as you know. And so yeah, so I start work at 8 o'clock, and I get presented with all of these issues, and I always give advice, lots of advice to help people. I don't rely on patients coming back every 6 to 8 weeks. Some of them absolutely need to, but if there's something you can do yourself, I will show you how.
Yeah, me too.
I'll take your foot and I'll go, right, to stretch out longer. I will, you know, have this cream. This is what you do, and you won't have to come back to me for quite a long time. And so that saves them money and bother, and you know, and they love that. And there's a lady that came this morning, and she has on her feet, she got horrendously hard skin that really immobilizes her, and cracks and everything. And I made her an orthotic this morning, and we're hoping, it's a bit of a trial, but immediately she stood up. She's like, oh my goodness. And I love playing with things like that. It's like, let's see how I cannot see you as much. I don't want to see you as much, you know. So any way I can help reduce that, reduce the cost, but reduce the discomfort for her, and the pain she feels is incredible. I know when she messages me, it's agony, absolutely agonizing. So so yeah, whatever I can do. And then I finish about 7, 7:30 sometimes, not every night.
Day.
Well, I would rather do I'd rather do sort of 4 long days, and then I'm off. Usually I'm off on a Friday. This morning I did a couple, but that's by choice, you know. But I like my Fridays off, and my weekends off, and because quality of life, you know.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I just really enjoy doing, and so yeah, that's does that explain my day?
It does. It explains it fabulous, and I've enjoyed listening to you and watching you with the passion. You know, when you're talking there about helping and supporting people, and if there's something you can do where they don't have to keep coming back, I can relate to that completely. I think that's where the respect is built, because you've got a genuine caring disposition that you know want to help, and they can see that as your authentic self, and that really shines through. That does make you pretty unique.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. So where do we find you, Sue? If somebody was doing a search, where would you pop up? Do you have a website, or social media pages?
Yes, I have. I tell you what's worked really, really well for me before I had my website was Google My Business.
Yeah, me too. It's fab, isn't it?
If you just put foot clinics in London or whatever, apparently I'll come up. That's fantastic. I use it. I post regularly, simple things, but it means I'm right up there. And I've got people from Manchester, Flint Peninsula, Liverpool. I've had people go, oh, I've seen you, and they come here. Sometimes they're on holiday, they treat themselves. Anyway, so it's fantastic. So just put in Sue Quinton Foot Clinic, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and during the COVID, I decided, you know what, I'm going to get myself a website. So I have got a website, Sue Quinton Foot Clinic. Yeah, so check me out. All my treatments are on my website as well. They're they're quite clear. So if you've got a condition, it tells you the causes and it tells you the treatment, so you know what to expect. But I always say to people, just message me, send me pictures if you like on my Facebook page. You can sort of inbox me a picture. Obviously, if you've never seen me before, I need to do a full assessment, but I'm more than happy to kind of dish out a bit of advice. If any way I can help, that's fine. So, but yeah.
Thank you. That's brilliant. So the mothership. So there's so many ladies in the mothership. You're a diamond member now, is that right?
Sure,
yeah.
I'm best thing I ever did.
Me too. Yeah. And you're doing the 5 to Strive as well, I believe.
I am. Another best thing I did.
Me too.
I'm on session 4 next week, and it is. I am always a little bit, having been brought up with men. I got 5 brothers, 3 sons, and even my supposedly female cats, when I got them, are actually male when I took to get done. Anyway, so I am a bit. I've got girlfriends, but I am a bit scared of groups of women. And I bumped into Mothership Network through the coronavirus time season. And I just watched and I was like, this is nice. And I took the support. And then when Ruth was going, oh, the diamond members, and I thought, I have to be a part of this. And honestly, it's just the support that I've had recently from the Mothership. And just meeting people like yourself, Michelle. We just clicked last week. It was
didn't we? Yeah.
Instant, wasn't it? And Ruth, what she does. I mean, and blimey, she's a gem. She's a jewel. She really is a jewel. And but just I feel safe with all of them. And the information I'm getting, and it's helping me focus. It's helping me formulate what I want my business to really be, and focus me in. But the support is just incredible. And the fun. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, some amazing characters amongst us, isn't there?
I am definitely a character, so I relate. It's a little bit of madness.
I think it's because it feels such a safe environment. You are safe to just be yourself, aren't you? To just be you. You don't have to be scared of I have a cackle laugh. When I laugh, my eyes just disappears, and it's all chin and teeth. It's fine to be that. You did a caricature of me, but most of the time I'm giggling away with people and made some great connections, and everybody's collaborated as well. It's not just the friendships, and we understand. We've built those relationships where we can understand, so that we can able to help people and refer. So it's, I know somebody, and that is just precious in itself. I can't wait for everybody to be together. But I agree with the 5 to Strive. It really does make you look at yourself and your business to pull things together, and the timing is perfect for going into 2021. Yes, absolutely clear, focus, and totally driven, and all the forces that support as well. Yeah.
Because when Ruth mentioned it to me, I thought, I can't afford it right now. My circumstances, it was like, I can't afford this, Ruth. I'm really sorry. Thanks for asking me, because there was space free, and I'm like, not right now. Of all times, not right now. And then I thought about it, and I'm thinking, do you know what? I think I can't not afford to do it.
Yeah, and that's how I looked at it.
I don't know what's happened, and it's nothing to do with anything else I'm doing differently. Business has gone up like that.
Yeah.
It's paid for.
Yeah, exactly. But in this building of the confidence as well, when you actually, you've got that accountability to stop and review yourself and your business, and you're not on your own. That mentorship continues after the five-week sessions as well. It's just amazing. It's great value for money, really is.
£10 a month. It's like.
If we start reading about it too much, and put it up.
Oh, you should have got in the first time and you would have saved a ton of money. But anyway,
Yeah.
I would say if you're thinking about it, do it as soon as possible, because it's I as well, you know, it's like I'm getting to know people. It's like if anybody wants to know somebody that does this, immediately I would go to who I know in the mothership.
Yeah.
Immediately. That everyone's work ethic and customer care, I feel like there's a similarity about us all. We want to do well by our people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that drive.
Yeah, it's like-minded people. Like attracts like. So we're in a tribe with the same vibe, I'd say.
I've never heard that.
That's my language. Oh, so it's been absolute pleasure getting to know you and your business and chatting with you. And last week we did click. I'm sure we'll meet, our paths will cross definitely. Well, you've inspired me to come in and sort my feet out. I've actually booked a session with Claire from the Wellness Hut next week, and when she come back, she said we'll do a bit of a foot massage. I thought, oh Christ, I've got to get my feet out, so I might have to try and come see you before I see her.
Fine, but yeah, you're welcome to.
But it's lovely, not just for the collaboration where we can come to each other for a pamper as well, and you know, an energy exchange, as I like to call it. Yeah, fabulous. Yeah. So have you got any golden tips for anybody, Sue, before we say good afternoon?
Golden tips are really pay attention to your feet. I can't tell you enough how important it is. Until you have problems with your feet, you don't realize how valuable they are. If you've got, I am talking about feet, I know I could talk about life, but if you've got a corn or anything, it'll and your weight will adjust according to avoiding the pain, but it'll ruin your body, your back and your shoulders, and it really takes you out of alignment. So but otherwise, you know, it's really hard times at the moment, and for me, getting through a day to day, find a faith that tap into whatever belief you have on a spiritual level. That for me is a key for anybody. Whatever your faith is, tap into it and stay with it and draw some strength from it to get through these really hard times. Think about when you're in trouble with yourself. I always say the best way to do that is to get your mind off yourself. Go and do something kind for somebody. Say something kind, make them a cup of tea, make them something, just listen to them. That is my favorite advice, is take your mind off yourself and go out there and do good, because it just is a great self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it's a ripple effect. That's beautiful advice. That's lovely. And I was thinking about that before, when you say what you give, you get back. I have a saying, the love we extend returns to us multiplied. And that's the same for the ripple effect. Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you in the mothership. Okay, have a lovely day. Thank you, Sue.
Michelle, take care, love. Bye, everyone.
Bye.